have not been into the bees in about a week, but it has been raining. The goldenrod is open, so let's go see if the nectar's flowing. All right, singing cedar 2, walkaway split. Have not opened this hive in a while. Last I checked, they were looking to be a monster though. There was a ton of brood and a very active laying queen in here. I gave them an extra couple supers in anticipation of an explosion. They're super chill. That's probably half full, maybe a third, and still working on that one. Let's do a quick check of the brood. Yeah, it's just wall-to-wall bees in here. This is just a hopping, slamming hive. I do want to have a quick look though, because this is a time of year when bees will swarm, here at least. It's happened to me a few times. Okay, I do not see swarm cells underneath. This is just a super chill hive. This super here is virtually empty. Still being drawn. So they can fill this one up and the other two are not full yet. I think they're all right. This hive will have excess honey this year for sure. All right, back to work. Okay, for the last couple weeks I was feeding this hive, just give them syrup because we were in a dearth and they weren't looking too hopping. So give them a little food. I don't think they're gonna need food now, but I just want to check them out, see if that couple quarts of syrup I gave them a boost. Just have a peek down the bottom. It's like, you know, tight little cluster there. There she is right there. It's a big frame of brood right there. So she's busy. They need to build. I mean, these bees just need to hatch and they just need to keep building. I think they'll be ready for winter. They got resources and plenty of space. They need population, but they got another good month and a half to build. Hey, Cornelia's daughter. Gave them food for a week, a gallon of syrup. Yeah, they needed that. So these hives that I've been feeding, I'm obviously not going to be harvesting anything from them. I just want them to survive the winter. These colonies had a slow build. They were a resource hive over the winter, and then I put them into a full-size hive this spring. So they've had the entire summer to build, but we had, like, you know, a total dearthy summer. Yeah, this is drawn out, but pretty empty. Totally empty. You guys have had 2 gallons of syrup. Just starting to fill that up. Alright, population looks good. They got tons of space to put nectar, so hopefully we get a little flow happening here and they can fill these up. Go to work. Okay, they seem primed and ready. Alright, oddball. Okay, oddball, just checking. This is probably the biggest hive in the bee yard, so I want to see if they're full, then I'll check the other big ones, but if they still have space, then that means there's not a flow on yet. Yeah, it's totally empty up here. Alright, no flow yet. And they've got at least 2 supers here that are empty. Alright, this is the Dorothy swarm hive, and no other hive has this kind of activity out in front of it right now. I'm a little worried that they're getting robbed, but it doesn't seem like, I mean, you look over there, pretty chill over there, pretty chill right next door, and then you come over here, and it's a madhouse. The thing is, it doesn't look like there's fighting, and I see pollen coming in here. So there are bees going in with pollen, which means there's foragers coming in. Very strange. I closed down their mouse guard to give them a little bit of a tighter entrance. Like, there's no fighting and stuff down here, so I don't know, maybe it just seems like there's a flow coming in, or they found a source and they're bringing it back really fast. That's kind of how it feels. The other clue that I don't think it's a robbing is the upper entrance has no activity at all. There's just a couple guards hanging out up there. There's no activity in the back of the hive, only the front entrance. So you can see bees with pollen. So that tells me these are foragers. So I'm just going to leave them like this. A lot of queen trouble this summer and a lot of nuke trouble this summer. So right here, the left side of this double nuke is full, and that is an that is the back left split right there. That was over there on the back left hive earlier this year, and I made a split of them and they turned into a nice little colony. So there's a little colony in there. This is now empty because it got robbed out, and the Adrian queen that was in there disappeared today, so she is gone. That colony is gone. This was an Adrian hive that was in this box, but I put them into a full-size hive. So they are building up. That is a Cornelia queen that was an overwintered resource hive that turned into a full-size hive. She was in there, the blue side, but now the blue side is the Adrian queen from last summer. Put her over there, made a split of her. So Adrian queen is in the blue side. The left side was a small little nothing queen that I moved up to the front earlier this year because that hive was almost dead, but I brought her up to the front, combined her with the oddball split that needed a queen, and she's doing fine. So one resource hive in the blue side, one resource hive here in the unpainted side. Up front we have the Singing Cedar Apiary walkaway split in this side, doing great. Nice 8 frames in there. This was a resource hive that I turned into a full-size hive. So that is a full-size that used to be resource. And this was an oddball walkaway split that didn't work. They needed a queen. So I brought the queen from that hive, which was almost dead. That hive had 1 frame and maybe 100 bees on it, with the queen, brought them up here, combined them with the oddball hive that needed a queen, and they are doing fine. So we have 2 resource hives up front and 2 in the back, and we have our little Balboa. They're making a queen right now. So that is the Balboa nuke over there. So we have basically 5 nukes on September 1st. I really wanted to have 10 nukes. Last year at this time we had 8 nukes. Now we have 5 because we had some fails and some robbed out hives, and a lot of weak hives because we had a really weak weak summer. So the wrap up today is there's no flow yet. It's coming. I feel like it's coming. We've had a lot of rain, and the goldenrod is it's bright yellow, but the flowers aren't totally open yet. So this is our goldenrod patch, which means the goldenrod in the area is just about to pop. So the bees should be finding goldenrod all over the place in the next, say, 10 to 14 days or so. Goldenrod will be in full swing. So hopefully the supers start to fill up. They're not filling yet, but hopefully they will. The other sad thing was I found another nuke that had been completely robbed out. We've had such a dearth this year that the big hives, even the big hives, which have resources, are just out and they are robbing everything. So the weakest hives don't make it. It's survival of the fittest. And even in the bee yard, with all of the bees that are basically brothers and sisters in there, they rob each other out. And the weak ones die and the strong ones get stronger. And that's just how it is. It's bees. So we lost another nuke. I saw them in the process of getting robbed yesterday, and I removed the last frame of bees with the queen, put her into another nuke, a smaller nuke, in another location, and it was calm over there, and I gave them some food because they had empty frames. Went up here today, and the bees found the food. They found the syrup, and they just were in there just completely destroying the hive. The queen that was in there last night was gone, so that hive just was toast. So we lost another nuke, and you know, it was a weak nuke, so again, survival of the fittest. The strong hives are getting stronger. It's all I can say. So that's where we are. We now have 5 nukes, including Balboa, and that's another story I'm going to get to soon. So I'm going to end this one here, and that's the story. Waiting for a flow, and we got some strong hives. We're losing hives, but we got some strong ones. And 2020 continues. Thanks for watching.